All right, so Illustrator can be a dangerous program to just kind of experiment with. But remember, as long as you can see your layers and you can understand what each path is doing in your design, you can always just turn off the ones or lock the ones or delete the ones that are confusing you. And you can always just recreate new ones, right? So I'm going to turn off all of mine and then see what I have and make sure I understand them. So I have this one, and then I have this one. And I like both of those. They are clean, they are lined up. But I don't want them to be separate. I want them to be the same. So that when I click on it with the small selection tool, I see the anchor is on all sides, not just one side. So how can I do that? How can I merge these two together? I can select them both, holding down Command and clicking on both of them so I see both their anchor points. And then I can use the Pathfinder merge function. And now they're all one path. So Pathfinder is also good for merging paths, not just subtracting them. Okay, let's see what other paths I have. Now this one is a guide, which is helpful. This one I no longer need, right? That's the tongue I did before I made it symmetrical. So I'm going to delete that. Select it and delete it. I have the eye, I like that. I have the other eye, I like that. What I could do is select both of those paths, holding down Command, and then merge them. But because they're not overlapping, they get merged into a group. They'll only merge into one path if the path is overlapping, right? Or sharing an anchor point. Then there's this path, and I like this one quite a bit. There's just maybe slight tweaks I'll make to it. So what do? I click with the small selection tool, the direct selection tool, to see the anchor points, and then I zoom in. Something that's weird when you zoom in Illustrator with Command+, it's going to zoom in on the center of whatever is selected. So it doesn't go right to your point, but if I select just this anchor point and I zoom in, then it will go right to it. But if I select on the whole thing, it will go to the center of the shape. So that's one place where it's just a little bit off, right? That little dip. So how can I fix that? I'm going to use the pencil tool, and I'm going to start on the path and end on the path to redraw it. Try to really smooth that out. And then there's another tool, which is just for finishing, which is under the pencil tool. It's called the smooth tool. And if it's not there, you can find it. It looks like a blending stump, like that. And you can move that in with your pencil tool. But this is a fun tool because it doesn't create anchor points. Instead, it just averages them. So if I take that one curve, that will average them. That will smooth out any kind of weird variation. Now, I don't want to use it where I have sharp angles because then it will soften them, right? So another place the smooth tool really makes sense is here, right? Look at all those anchor points. That will simplify it. And here. And maybe even here. Because I like that point, but I didn't like how it just went to a straight. So you just want to understand everything and feel good about it. And then these wings are really basic because they're done with very few anchor points. But I can check the tips and kind of smooth them out. Okay. And I can always just move the, people forget about this, but you can just use the small selection, click on the anchor point directly, and play with the curves, play with the handles, even just move them down. And you can use the Convert Anchor Point tool to change curves back into straights as well. There we go. All right, so now I'm happy with that shape. So I'm going to lock the shapes I'm happy with. They're the ones that are visible right now. And this shape I'm not so happy with yet. And instead of trying to redraw it with the pencil tool, especially that part, I'm just going to turn it off. And I'm going to recreate it with the pen tool, the thing that I did the wings with that gave me the most control. And I want to find this line. So what I'm going to do is actually set a guide that shows me right where that point is, so I can find that other point here to start it. Gives me precise control, which is a lot of what Illustrator is about. Then I'm going to go to here, click and drag a curve. I'm actually going to use that recurve, click and drag a curve. As I'm drawing, I can hold down spacebar to get the hand and move up. And I'm following this curve all the way around. Until I set my next curve. And this one was a little too ambitious to try to get all in one, but we'll see. Okay, now I click back here and set my next curve. Click back here, set my next curve. Click back here, set my next curve. Or maybe keep it a straight there for the beak. Set it to here, curve it, click back to here. There we go. So I love the pencil tool for fixing little mistakes. I like the smooth tool, but for really controlling the number of anchor points you create, that's when you need to really understand the pen tool. And there's no like fully competent way of using a vector program without mastering the pen tool for yourself. Okay, so now I'm going to fill that with black. So now this is a tricky part. I want to make this match this side. How can I do that? This is the creative problem solving part. I could just try to make it look as good as I can. Or what I can do is select this layer, which I've locked. So let me unlock it. Make a duplicate of it. So how do I do that? Command C to copy it, and then edit, paste in place. Lock the one behind it. This is the duplicate. Sometimes I'll just move that duplicate onto a new layer so it has a different vector color. Right? Now I'm going to transform it by right-clicking on it, transform, reflect it, flip it, then move it into its place, right? And now I'm going to delete these other anchor points. So I'm going to lock all the red so I don't accidentally delete anchor points I want. I'm going to use the pen tool, and I'm just going to start deleting. Whoops. But I have to be right on them to delete them. And there's a faster way to do this, which is to simply use the pencil tool and to redraw it. So what do I want to redraw? All of that, right? Because really I just want the edge of the snake's face. Okay, now I'm going to take that, I'm going to push it back so it lines up with what I already have. I think that's good. And now I'm going to use the pencil tool just to smooth out this. Actually, I won't even do that. Instead, I'm going to go to the layer behind and get that little lip out of there. So again, it's all about understanding your different layers. That is, which one? So I need to unlock the red. It's this one. So I'm going to select this, and I'm going to redraw with the pencil tool. I prefer doing it this way than using the eraser or anything else. And I'm just going to take that edge back. You see? So that now my new shape on the snake is exactly equal. And then I'm going to take the green and just redraw it here so it lines up better with the red. Like that. Okay? So far, so good. Now what do I need to do? I need to merge this layer, just because that's subtle difference in the shape's head, with this layer. So I hold down Command, I select them both, and then I merge them together with the Pathfinder. So they're all one shape. And now that they're one shape, I can smooth it out with the pencil tool a little bit easier, that transition from the neck into the head. Perfect. Okay. Now I like both those shapes. If I turn off my sketch and I turn off the guides, right? I see that my logo is almost complete, but I'm missing one thing, which is the eye of the eagle, right? So I could draw that. Let me just review again, like I'm starting my logo from scratch. What are the different ways I could use to create that? A clean path. Well, I could use the pen tool. I'm just going to go through all the methods I've shown you. And with the pen tool, I could click and move, click and move, click and move, and get kind of and have to end it where I began it, get a polygonal design. And then I could go to the anchor point tool to turn some of those into curves, right, for the eye. Like, say, like this. And that could give me some interesting eye shapes. That's one way. I'm going to turn that one off for the time being. And then try another approach. I could use the pen tool and plot the curves as I go by clicking and dragging to pull out the curve, clicking back on the anchor point to give me a straight, then pull out the curve, clicking back on the anchor point to give me a straight, and then pull out the curve I desire, clicking again and ending it and pulling out the final curve. And that can give me an eye design. Turn that one off. What's another way? I can use the shape tools, start with an ellipse, and then just use the large selection tool to rotate it and place it, right? So I have 3 different ways. Let's see what they look like that, like this, like this. I can turn all of them white by holding down Command, selecting all 3 of them, and changing their fill color from black to white so that when I turn on the shape behind them, I can compare the ways they look on the full design. So that's the full oval.